I thought it would be really fun to show you some of the signed copies of some of my favorite books that I have. I don't have a lot of other friends who are into books that would get excited about something like this. So I'm hoping if you found me, then that is something you are interested in. Let's start with my favorite book of 2023. Devine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I love the texture of this. It is so soft. I love getting the opportunity to get copies of my favorite books with signatures from the authors. And I absolutely appreciate how they don't charge extra for that. So usually they'll put out a notice on their Instagram or TikTok that telling you where to get this signed copy from, or where they'll be signing in the future. And I think that's really cool. I loved this book so much because of how amazing this author writes. She writes like poetry, and it's absolutely magical. I think when I read this, it was on Kindle, and so I ended up highlighting so many different sentences throughout the book because they were just so gorgeously written. I wanted to have them and remember them. Has anyone else read this book? I'm gonna read the synopsis of each book, but bear with me. I do know how to read. It's just a lot of pressure to read aloud, kind of like when you were in school and the teacher would call on you. Oh my gosh, I hated that. And when I'm under pressure like that, I say really, my brain sees different words, I think. So don't judge me too harshly. Alright. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again. But 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction, and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle, for her brother, the fate of mankind, and love. Devine Rivals is an epic enemies-to-lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. Like, come on. Tell me that if you haven't read this, that didn't just make you get this on your TBR. Please do. Sticking to Rebecca Ross books, here is the follow-up part 2 to Devine Rivals, Ruthless Vows. This cover is beautiful. Matches my nails, I just realized. And look at how pretty these are together. Ugh. Stunning. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is me, Emily. I tend to really like to read paperback books if I am reading like an actual tangible copy of a book instead of on my Kindle. I don't know why. It's very uncomfortable to read hardcovers because you're kind of like, I mean, I always take this off the cover, obviously. But I like to do everything one-handed, and so it gets a little weird, and there's like wrist pain involved. This was a perfect follow-up to Devine Rivals. I'll read you just a little bit. You remember how you said that word to me in the infirmary, post-trenches? You believed I had come to the bluff to outshine you, and I would speak this word back to you now, but only because I would love to see you burn with splendor. I would love to see your words catch fire with mine. Will their love end the war or break the world? Okay, next of my 5-star reads, Happy Place by Emily Henry. I think she is one of the funniest writers, one of the funniest rom-com writers. I even believe that they're turning at least 5 of her books into movies in the next few years, which is well deserved because I genuinely have liked all of her books. This stunning copy is from Afterlight, which is a book box. April 2023. Afterlight exclusive. And it is gorgeous. Look at this masterpiece. I really, really love the component of illustrations with books now. It just brings a whole nother element of art, and it is really cool to get to visualize the characters that you're reading about, even if it's just like fan art. But Afterlight does an incredible job. And their painted edges. I don't really care for painted edges. I think that's a fad that will eventually go out of style. I don't mind it, but I also don't need it. It's not. I could take it or leave it, basically. It's cool for these types of special editions, though. Let's see. Now, this book is a second chance romance, and it is about a group of friends that meet up and go on vacation together, and the friends don't know that the couple has broken up. I'll read a little bit of it. Go to your happy place, I think desperately, only to realize I'm literally in my happy place. And he is here. The very last person I expected to see. The very last person I want to see. Wynn Connor, my fiance. Loved this. It was really funny. Also, I think I remember crying. I think it was sad. Or just relatable, kind of like friend groups growing apart as time goes by. Okay. Next up is Lovelight Farms, which was one of my favorite 5-star reads of 2022. I think it was my favorite read of 2022. I can't remember if that was 20. I'll have to check my Goodreads, but it was one of those years. The year it came out. If you haven't read this, it is so joyful. If you need a palate cleanse book, something to just, some type of escapism in like a PG-13 type of way, this is the book for you. Because I know when I read darker love stories, I need something light, and this is perfect for that. It is by B.K. Borison. She writes, "Enjoy your trip to Lovelight Farms." B.K. Borison. I got this one from her website. So you can do that. I don't know if it's still there because I know that I think she released this one herself on her own, which I think is absolutely incredible, and I'm really glad that I got a copy of a first edition because now it is published by, I don't remember who, but you can get it at Target and Barnes & Noble. So I don't know if she still sells her version on her website with the signature. Let me see. Let me read a little bit of it. A pasture of dead trees, a hostile takeover of the Santa barn by a family of raccoons, and shipments that have mysteriously gone missing. Lovelight Farms is not the magical winter wonderland of Stella Bloom's dreams. In an effort to save the Christmas tree farm she's loved since she was a kid, she enters a contest with the infamous influencer Evelyn St. James. With the added publicity and the $100,000 cash prize, she might just be able to save the farm from its financial woes. There's just one problem. To make the farm seem like a romantic destination for the holidays, she lied on the application and said she owns Lovelight Farms with her boyfriend. Only there is no boyfriend. Enter best friend Luca Peters. How great is that? I love fake dating tropes. Lovelight Farms is a romantic comedy featuring a handsome, freckled data analyst, a messy, optimistic Christmas tree farm owner, and a small town with the best hazelnut lattes on the East Coast. This sweet and steamy romance is a holiday happily ever after. There is a couple steamy scenes, I forgot. Not too crazy. It's still steamy. I think she even sent this with a bookmark and a sticker, which I always appreciate. Oh wait, she sent a postcard. And there's something else too, I think. I usually try to keep them together. I think it was a bookmark. Okay, so that's that one. Next up, one of my favorite writers, which is a best friend duo. I'm constantly texting my best friend with the intention of getting her to write a book with me because I think that is so cool. Christine and Lauren, I don't know how they do it. They just are a perfect team, and I've pretty much liked everything that I've read by them. I actually just got this in December of this year, or not this year, 2023. I'm in 2024 now. But I got it in December, and so I think it was the last week of December that it came in. So I haven't actually finished, I haven't even started reading it yet. Because I think by the time I got it, it was after Christmas, and I was so Christmased out this year. I went really hard with decorating and staying festive and watching every holiday Hallmark movie and reading every holiday book, and so I am saving this most likely for next year. But I was really grateful to get it. It's the only signed book I have by them, so I still think that's really cool. Even if maybe I won't like the book, I like the authors, so you never know. Let's read a little bit about what it is about. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but not for Maylin Jones. She's living with her parents, hates her going nowhere job, and has just found out this is the last Christmas she and her family will spend at the picturesque, snowy Utah cabin they visit every year. As if that's not bad enough, she's just made a romantic error of epic proportions. But when she's driving away after saying what she thinks is the final goodbye to her favorite place in the world, May sends out a plea to the universe. Please show me what will make me happy. Ugh, how many of us can relate to that? The next thing she knows, tires screech, everything goes black, and she begins the same holiday all over again. Oh, I didn't realize it was like a Groundhog Day. That's cool. And again, until she can finally figure out how to get her true love under the mistletoe. Jam-packed with Yuletide cheer, an unforgettable cast of characters, and Christina Lauren's trademark, downright hilarious hijinks. This swoon-worthy romantic read will make you believe in the power of wishes and the magic of the holidays. Ah, that sounds really good. So fun. And it was only $10. Like, that's a steal. It's a cute size too. It kind of reminds me of like old school romance books tended to be like this, like actual beach reads were this size. Oh, this is the, I forgot about this. This, I bought it from Meet Cute, which is a romance bookstore in California, which I think is so cool. And they gave me a bookmark. I don't actually like tapping too much, so I might be doing it too much, and I don't like videos like that, so let me know if I should stop doing that. Next up, Forget Me Not by Julia Soto. This is another Afterlight special release, which again is a book box. And this is different from, the book box is from the UK, and so this is a different cover than the than what I would receive in the being in the US. How pretty is this gold foil? Come on. this is what the US cover looks like. I feel like you probably have seen this before. A lot of people have. It's one of the most beautiful covers. Signed by the author, Julia Soto. This was for sure a 5-star read for me. So I'm very glad that it ended up being one of the picks for the month. I didn't know it was going to be. That's a good sound. These pages. Whoopsie. Beautiful edges. Oh, Allie Hazelwood commented on it. Let's read a little bit about it. Ama Torres is a great wedding planner. Ama Torres does not believe in happily ever after. When Ama lands the job of her dreams, a headline-grabbing wedding for a glamorous influencer, her fiancé, it's her biggest job yet. But the florist is none other than Elliot Bloom, Ama's ex, the man whose heart she broke 2 years ago, the man she hasn't spoken to since. Can they get through the wedding without killing or kissing each other? So, second chance romance. Loved it. Loved their connection, their chemistry. I loved their jobs together. I think that was a really cool idea for a book, The Florist and the Wedding Planner. Definitely read this if you are in the market for a special romance. Next up, what do I have? Finlay Donovan knocks him dead. Someone wanted my ex-husband dead, and this time it wasn't me. So this is the follow-up book to this one, which you might have seen. If you can see that, Finlay Donovan is killing it. And it is such a clever book. She's a writer, and she writes like mystery murders. And one day when she was at Panera Bread with her agent, someone sitting next to her heard the pitch for her new book, and that person thought that she was a hired killer, and that's what she was talking about, and not a book. And so you can imagine where it goes from there. And she's a single mom, newly divorced. Let's see. We'll read this. Finlay Donovan is once again struggling to finish her next novel and keep her head above water as a single mother of 2. On the bright side, she has her live-in nanny and confidant, Vero, to rely on, and the only dead body she's dealt with lately is that of her daughter's pet goldfish. On the not-so-bright side, someone out there wants her ex-husband, Stephen, permanently out of the picture. Whatever else Stephen may be, he's a good father, but saving him will send her down a rabbit hole of soccer moms disguised as hit women and will involve her a little bit more with the Russian mob than she'd like. With her next book's deadline looming and an ex-husband to keep alive, Finlay is quickly coming to the end of her rope. She can only hope there isn't a noose at the end of it. Like, how clever is that? It's very well written, very smart. I haven't read this one yet. I read the first one. I actually won this off of the author's Instagram page. So if you're not a part of Bookstagram, I definitely recommend getting on there, because at least daily I am registering to win books from authors. And somehow I won this one. I'm so grateful. El Cosimano. Cosimano? Cosimano? It's always such a good cover too. Like, I love a bun, you know? And sunglasses, very compelling. I think, oh, she did. She even sent me a cute little bookmark. Let's see, what else is next? This one is called Fangirl Down, and it is by the absolutely hysterical Tessa Bailey. Somehow Tessa has managed to make golf exciting and enjoyable. I never, ever, ever thought that I would like to read a romance rom-com about golf, but it works. It's a Grumpy Sunshine. This is Mr. Grumpy. He kind of has like, it's kind of like a Happy Gilmore vibe, if you ever saw that movie. Adam Sandler. Very funny. But Tessa Bailey, oh my gosh, she's hysterical. I have never not laughed out loud at her books. Like, I think people constantly wonder what the heck's going on with me, because I'll just be by myself reading and cracking up. Like if I'm sitting in public somewhere, like Starbucks, reading, if I'm laughing, it's usually because I'm reading one of her books. And this is, I actually just got this today. It came in the mail. It's another Afterlight edition. Love this gold foil. So good. Like, look at how sweet. Like, how sweet is that? This little baby palm tree. Now this one is signed by her, but I don't have any other books with her signature, so I don't have anything to judge it against. But I think this is a digital signature. I don't remember it saying that on their website, Afterlight's website, that it usually will tell you if it's digital. But for some reason, I don't think that that's her actual signature. For some reason, it looks like it's digital. Which, not as exciting, in my opinion. But, that's okay. It's still such a fun edition. So basically this book is about this golfer who is kind of, well, not kind of, he is having a really bad year in golf, I guess you would say. And he has lost a lot of his fan base and his mentor because of his attitude, and then also because he's no longer on winning streaks. But he still has his #1 fan. She never left his side, and he cannot figure out why. And so the book basically starts off with him trying to, it's a dual POV, which I love, because I really loved his perspective. I thought it was so cute, because he genuinely loves her even when he's cranky. And he loves her so much, I think, that he is embarrassed to be losing in front of her, and so he tries to be a super jerk to her to get her to stop rooting for him. And that's where the book begins. I loved it. I think it was absolutely a 5-star read. I kind of want to read it again. That's how much I liked it. I would love to figure out, like, how does everyone showcase their books? Like, do you all do it in, like, the rainbow, like other people do? Or do you show, if it has painted edges, do you show that? Do you keep, like, your special editions together? Or what do you do? How does everyone's bookshelf look? I would love to figure out how to display these, or at least get some fun ideas on how to display them differently, maybe. Okay, let's see. I think this is the last one. Now, I have not read this book, but it's called Christmas in Coconut Creek. And when I saw that, I had to have it because it's about South Florida, and I live and love South Florida. I live in South Florida, and I love South Florida. And it's about Christmas, like, hello. We definitely in South Florida have a very different type of Christmas than other people do. It's definitely something you should experience once. It's very weird if you're, I mean, I'm born and raised in South Florida, so it's my normal, but I know it's really foreign for people to come here and it not be cold on Christmas, or for there not to be snow or gloomy skies or whatever you're used to on Christmas. It's not that. So when I saw that, somebody recommended it to me. I don't remember. It was somebody on TikTok but when I read the synopsis, I was like, I have to have it. And I got it off of Carissa Kinward's Etsy account. And she sent all these cute little things, which I seriously appreciate when they send extra things. It was so fun to open. What a cute sticker. I love that. So again, like I said, I was kind of Christmased out by the time I got this one also in December, and so I'm saving it for this Christmas coming up. And I think, let's see what it's about. I think it's there are a few things Coconut Creek has that Pine Ridge does not. Palm trees, sandy beaches, butterfly museums, infuriatingly attractive special forces veterans. When Colorado elementary school teacher Ophelia Brody decides to ditch her divorced family for Christmas in the Sunshine State with her college roommate, she doesn't expect a mile-high meet cute to tailspin the entire trip. Frankie Casado is cocky, he's presumptuous, he's shameless, and he's just the right distraction for her depressing, fruitless dating life. Back home for a few weeks. Oh, did I miss it? Fruitless dating life, back home for a few weeks. It just so happens the retired fighter pilot, is in somewhat of a rut of his own. And the circumstances around their coincidental meeting and unavoidable physical attraction are the perfect excuse for a festive fling. The rules are simple. Ophelia teaches him how to date again, and Frankie shows her exactly what she should be demanding behind closed doors. Friends benefits until the ball drops in the new year, but a little bit of long-lost Christmas magic just might find a way to stir up more than their complicated pasts. I'm excited to check that one out. So that pretty much sums it up. This was fun. I'm hoping to continue to invest in my special edition signed copies. So hopefully there will be a part 2 to this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. This was my very first video. If you made it all the way through, cool. I appreciate you. And have a good night.